Mabuhay and good evening to my dear students. I hope you're doing well. Very soon you will be presenting your study, your thesis to the panel of the University Research Committee, right? So, as an undergraduate student or even graduate students in a university, you have two research subjects, right? Your research one, which covers chapters 1 to 3, and the other research 2, which covers chapters 4 and 5. Now, you know already that it is hard for you to go on writing with your chapters 4 and 5 if your title, statement of the problem, and methodology and everything about your chapters 1 to 3 are not yet defended and approved by the university research panel and committee as I was saying. Okay? So meron po ditong siyam na mga slides, no? Itong siyam na slides na ito ay compact ito. Perfect ito para sa iyong presentation. So the 9 slides, this is title, defense presentation format, are as follows. Now, the first slide will be your title. Of course, you're going to present your title, of course, your name under the title. The next slide will be your brief introduction. What is the study all about? No, some justification why you're going to conduct this study. No, a brief statement about your study. Now, the next slide will be your statement of the problems. Now, depending on the scope of your study, now, for example, you have 3 statement of the problems, then you are going to present all of that. The next slide is about your theoretical framework. So, ano ba ang mga backup theories ng iyong framework? Actually, you can have 1 or 2 theories depending on your study needs. Now, this study is anchored from the following theories. Okay, number 1, you write the title of the theory or principle, and then don't forget also to indicate the author or proponent of that particular theory or principle. Then the third part will be your description or statement about the theory. So what is it telling us? What is the theory telling us? Okay, so the next slide will be your conceptual framework. Now, there are some models in presenting your conceptual framework, but these 2 models are very popular and very common, to undergraduate and graduate thesis. Now, the first one is input, process, output, or the IPO. Sometimes it is called input, throughput, output. Now, you have there a feedback loop just below the table. Okay, if you found that appropriate to your study, then use that. Now, the other one is the IVDV model. IV refers to independent variable and then connected each other. The other one is dependent variable. Actually, you have example there, how to go about understanding what is independent variable and dependent variable. Sometimes researchers added another loop in this particular model, the intervening variable. So, independent variable, intervening variable, and the dependent variable. So, it depends upon your study needs. Now, the next slide will be presentation of your methodology or research methodology. This is also very important. Now, we have here 5, no? The first one is research design. Ano ba ang research design mo? Qualitative, quantitative ba ito? Descriptive, experimental, phenomenological, others. So, alam nyo na yan kasi you went through basic statistics, and advanced statistics. So, you know what I mean already. Now, the second one is your population. Saan ba nanggagaling ang iyong respondents? Yun ang tinatawag na population. For example, all beneficiaries or beneficiary entrepreneurs of the microfinancing program of the X city. X city is the LGU, or local government unit, if that is your if that is where your population are coming. Now the third one is sample. Okay? Okay. So example is selected entrepreneurs. So itong mga samples na ito are the ones provided with the survey questionnaire, or the ones being interviewed. Okay, ilan sila? Okay, how many? The fourth one is sampling techniques. Okay, so ginagamitan ba natin ito ng Slovin's formula or hindi na? Nagra-random ba ito? Nagpo-purposive sampling, incidental, quota, and many more. So, it depends upon your actual sampling techniques. Now, the other one is research instrument. Now, research instruments comes in various form, no? But very common is the researcher-made survey questionnaire. If you are using a researcher-made or original research questionnaire, sometimes researchers use a ready-made questionnaire or standard questionnaires, no, from standard sources. Okay, so if you are using an interview guide form, then include that in your research instrument that you are using a survey guide questionnaire or form. The next slide will be a presentation of your possible statistical treatments. Why is it possible? Because at this point in time, hindi pa tapos ang iyong research. Diba? So, research in progress. Actually, you are still in chapters 1, 2, 3. So, definitely, research in progress. Now, one possible statistical treatment that you might be using is percentage and frequency distribution. Diba? May frequency and then a percentage, now usually in table. So you are going to define and indicate the formula. Now, if you're using a weighted mean or mean, then the same process happens. Now, you define and then indicate the formula for weighted mean. If you're using parametric, statistics like t-test, f-test, or ANOVA, Spearman-Rao, or Pearson's R, chi-square, and all, then you define and indicate the formula. Even if you are using non-parametric statistics, you still do the same. Now, you define and then you indicate the formula if ever there are. The next slide is the presentation of your questionnaire, the draft of your questionnaire. Why am I saying draft? Kasi at this point in time, hindi pa tapos ang study mo. You are still in chapters 1, 2, 3. So therefore, your questionnaire is not yet final. But the panel also wanted to see your questionnaire as far as your study depended is concerned, and your SOP or statement of the problem is concerned, because basically your questionnaire is the one answering the variables or the questions presented in your SOP. Now, the next slide, this is the last slide actually, the calendar of your activity after having defended your title, or after the colloquium defense. Now, you have here a table, a date, activities, expected output, and remarks. May mga activity dyan. These are activities that you are actually planning to do after the title defense. Maganda ito kasi it will provide good impression on the part of the panels that you are really working good about your study. You are self-directed about your study. So this is good. And the last is no more. So that completes your 9-slider or 9 slides thesis title presentation. Okay? So, marami tayong mga videos dyan about research, related to research. So please explore inside the channel, in my channel. And if you find it helpful to you, please don't hesitate to subscribe and like my channel. Thank you so much, and God bless everyone.